Hey everyone. So here's a very sweet, honest question. Hi Claire. I am brand new to this and I don't understand a word you are saying. Can you tell me some basics to get me started, please? Yes, thanks for that honesty. Yeah, so basics, what we're talking about is really what are we? And when we are suffering, when we are in a sort of experience of resistance, and that might show up as anxiety or depression or stress, fear, shame, desperation, need, helplessness, hopelessness. When we're suffering, what is happening is that the the lived experience of being, which we could say is the conscious mind, is believing. It's believing what it creates, what it thinks. It's believing an idea of the future. It's believing an idea of the past. It's believing an idea of other people. It's believing its narrative, its interpretation. But above all, it is believing an idea of what we are that is essentially an entity within the mind, within the body mind, which is separate from the intelligence of life. It's separate from life. It's separate from consciousness. It is its own separate thing. And it is the thing doing the actions. It's the thing that apparently can make independent choices. It can think objectively. And of course, this looks logical. This looks absolutely real. Yeah, of course. I think logically. I think my view of the world is objective truth. My view of me is objective truth. I'm the doer of these actions. That is a series of beliefs about what we are that are fundamentally not true. And they're not just not true, they are the origin of all our suffering. But the grip of them is ferocious. And the grip of them is so strong because it looks like if those beliefs were to be challenged or to be given up, we would die, because this idea of what we are, this sort of inner representation, looks like us. And so any challenge to the ego, any challenge to the identity, and the identity can extend to, the body, the health, the family, the work, the bank balance, the clothes, the football team, the country, the town. The grip of the identity can really roam out. Any challenge to that looks like death to me. And so the protection of this idea of us is well, the more fragile that idea, the more insecure it is, the more it's built on beliefs of not being enough, not being lovable, not being worthy, of lacking, not being complete. The more fragile and precarious the ego, the more tenacious the grip, because the more it's fighting for survival. And so that's the fundamental of what we're talking about, that the I, that believed I, and especially that I that believes it's the doer. When really, how is that even possible? When if we consider that how behaviors were learned, how words were learned, how a body mind learn to recognize sound and turn that sound into words and meaning, who was doing that? There was no independent entity acquiring beliefs, choosing what belief to acquire based on what's real or not. No, beliefs acquired, conditioning acquired, and from all of that, behavior happening. And so there's this conditioned idea of us as separate, as a doer, as in control, as the chooser. And it's a complete fabrication. And it's the ultimate confusion, the ultimate insanity. And the more real it looks, the more removed the experience of being is from reality. Yeah. And so what we do on our courses is we look at that from different directions, different ways in, either through logic, through rationale, through exploration, through the body, through the healing of these layers of shock, really, layers of embedded trauma, of believed separation, believed vulnerability. And or subliminally, we do a lot of work with subliminal recordings that resonate deeply with what's known beneath this sort of pile of beliefs. And we find different ways to allow the experience of what we are to settle back into truth. So that's the core of it. What are we, and what is reality? Because that idea of us, that identity, all the content that goes into that identity, is made of the same conditioning that creates reality. So reality is an external manifestation of that internal conditioning. They're the same thing. And that's amazing. So we look at that in all sorts of ways: relationships, money, creativity, expression, authenticity, truth. So many ways in to see it. And yeah, this is it. This is sanity, and it's ultimately what we're all looking for. But because we're looking for it through that identified mind, through the unquestioned belief in separation, the search just makes more and more confusion. Yeah, so thank you for that question. Lots of love. Bye.